What's going on, everyone? My name's Eric, and today we are going to be checking out a sweet pedal. This is the ICBM from Ghostnote Audio, and this is a take on the Randall X2 Warhead. And if you don't know what the Randall X2 Warhead is, it was the second generation of the Warhead, which was Dimebag Darrell's signature amp when he was with Randall amps. Those amps are super rare now, and when they do pop up, they do command a good amount of money. So with that in mind, we do have alternative options such as this one. So with all that in mind, let's hear this in a full demo mix. So once again, this is the ICBM from Ghostnote Audio, and this is a company based out of the UK. And once I caught wind that they were making a Randall X2 preamp in a Stompbox form, of course, I had to come check it out. I will say that Ghostnote Audio did send this over to me for free. They hit me up asking me if I wanted to check it out. Of course, I said yes, because it is Dimebag Pantera related, although they are not paying me, so all thoughts and opinions are still mine. Now, checking out some of the specs and features on the Ghostnote ICBM, this is a really solid unit right here. This feels really good. This kind of has the similar size of maybe a Boss double pedal, or at least like two Boss style stomp boxes side by side. So it does take up a bit of room on the actual pedal board if you're gonna mount this thing, but this pedal does offer a lot, which we will get into right now with some specs and features. We have 3 soft touch activation switches down here. So it's not like some of the MXR or other brand stomp boxes that use these switches. They don't have a click when you engage or disengage them. So it's just real nice and easy, nice and smooth, that you don't hear the pop. We have a channel switch down here because there are 2 channels on the ICBM here. We will get into that in just a sec. You engage either channel 1 or 2 right here. We have a boost on here, which adds a little bit more gain. There's a green and a red boost here. I really like the red boost, in my opinion. That's just how I like to run my distortion channel on this particular pedal. We also have the final button on the side here, which is active. That just turns the pedal on and off. We have a shared EQ section right at the top here. We have a density, which is essentially like resonance, bass, middle, treble, and presence. We have individual gain and volume sections for each of the channels here. We then have a sweep function right in the middle, which controls the overall mid-range frequencies and the response. This combined with the actual mid-range knob, you can get some really great mid-range tones. I've only seen this control on the Krankenstein and the Randall X2 Warhead, again, both Dimebag signature products. So it makes sense that we see it here, even though this is not related to the Dimebag estate or the Dimebag family or anything like that. Last but not least, just to clear the air, this is a preamp pedal, and what this is essentially replacing the preamp section of your guitar amplifier. So to really oversimplify it, we're talking like the initial controls, like your treble, middle, bass, and your gain controls for like a distortion channel or maybe a clean channel. This takes the place of that. There's a few different ways that you can run this pedal. The first way that we're running the pedal, and the one that you're going to be hearing for the entirety of this demo, is my guitar going straight into the input of this pedal, going out of the output into my audio interface, and I'm loading up a custom IR because you do need an IR or like a speaker simulation to actually pair with it if you're going direct in. You can also run this going into something like a Seymour Duncan power stage and then going into a traditional 4x12 cabinet. Or if you have a traditional guitar amp that has an effects loop, what you're gonna do, you're gonna be going out of your guitar into the input, out of the output, then into the effects return of that guitar amplifier, and then obviously you're gonna have your guitar amp set up, whether it is a combo amp or a head and a cabinet situation. And this pedal will then bypass the actual preamp that is in your amp, and then you can kind of use this as its own thing and hear it through your actual guitar amplifier with a speaker cabinet. So there's a lot of cool ways to really integrate this to various different contexts and various different guitar rigs. At this point in the video, we're gonna plug straight into the ICBM. It's gonna go from the guitar into the pedal, out of the pedal into my interface. There's gonna be an IR on it because you do need an IR when you're running these pedals direct into an interface. All the tone controls are gonna be at noon. I'm gonna show you what all of these tone controls do on their own to simulate how all the tone controls react and just how everything works on this pedal when you first get this pedal and plug it in. So at this point in the video, I've dialed in the ICBM with some of my favorite IRs and some of my favorite guitars just to capture some modern Dimebag tones and some modern, like, non-related Dimebag tones, just so you could hear how this pedal kind of captures Dimebag's tone as well as how it captures some modern guitar tones. So what do I think about the ICBM from Ghostnote Audio? Does it sound like the Randall Warhead X2? That I'm not 100% sure on because I have never played one. Will it sound like the new Warhead Mini that David Karen also designed? I'm not sure, but I think we're gonna do that at a later video. This pedal on its own though sounds really, really incredible. I do like how this can really do the Dimebag sound, and I really do like how this can get a lot of other different tones as well. A lot of this Dimebag gear can do more than just the traditional Dimebag sound, even if it is just a preamp pedal like this. I do really like the overall housing and the chassis of this. Like, it feels really sturdy. Like, I'm sure I could tour with this and it would hold up the entire way. It does feel very solid. The soft button switches, those feel really good as well. Just moving even the potentiometers, they feel really good and everything like that. The background design looks really good. I do want to say that the presence, it can get pretty shrill, as you probably heard. So, you know, backing it down right around here. So backing it down really is that sweet spot in my opinion. The low end can get pretty woofy just from how I demoed it and from how I was hearing it in my context going straight into my interface, and maybe it was the IR I was using with a little bit of tweaking like on here, like just having the bass super low. That really worked for my particular context. I will try this with a dedicated power amp and going into the effects loop of a regular amplifier just so you can all hear how that is at a later. I also really like the fact that this preamp has 2 channels, so like literally this could be like my whole Dimebag pedal board rig in a box right here because it has a dedicated clean channel. So I can like play the clean parts on a lot of these songs, which is really sweet out of one box. I don't have to get a separate preamp pedal. Really sick. At the time of filming, this pedal comes in at around $215 USD or around $300 Canadian, and I think this is a great value, especially if you are looking for the Dimebag tone. You're looking to chase the preamp sound of a very rare amp that doesn't really pop up, and for what those amps are going for, and if you are just looking for that actual preamp sound, which is kind of what you want out of the end of the day, this is a really great alternative. I really look forward to trying one of those Randall Warhead X2s out and trying to compare it to this guy. Let's see if we can make that happen. If you have one and if you really want to make that happen on my channel, let me know, hit me up, and let's see what we can make happen. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. I have tons more videos chasing Dimebag's tone, all things Dimebag related in terms of guitars and tones and all those things, as well as other guitar related topics. And if you are a returning subscriber, make sure you hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single video that I upload. Thanks for checking this out, and I'll see you next time.